Disclaimer, the following episode was recorded back in March, before the world had completely exploded. We'll be mentioning some things that are probably not relevant anymore. Okay, enjoy the episode. So you're stuck in quarantine, social distancing, being a responsible adult, and you're thinking to yourself, what is there to watch? What is on Amazon Prime? Well, I'll tell you, Scott and Crowley, a comic book adventure, is now on Amazon Prime, locally produced right here in Lawton, Oklahoma by Option D Productions. Two average nerds, Scott and Crowley, accidentally find the rarest comic book known to man, only to lose it minutes later. As word of the rare book spreads, Scott and Crowley must race against every elite geek in town to get it back. Scott and Crowley was an official selection of 2018's Comicpalooza, an official selection of SuitorCon, an official selection of 2018's San Diego Comic-Con International, and a winner of Best Feature Film at 2018's Fly Film Festival, along with tons of other awards and things. Check out Scott and Crowley, a comic book adventure, now on Amazon Prime.
Okie show. Hello and welcome to the podcast that explores the heartlands entertainment industries. I'm Brian.
I'm Kelly.
And today we're going to be talking about producing music videos. And it's such a great conversation.
So cool.
With Lamar+Nik. These guys have been producing music videos for the Shins, for the Pixies, just all sorts. Samantha Crane locally. They just did a music video for Husbands. I had to think about it. Horses, Husbands, Hallows.
Houses.
Yeah, House of Cards. Not the show. But we're going to get to that conversation in just a second. But first, I got to check in with the old co-host, Kelly.
Yeah, how's it going? I'm here. I'm alive. Doing good.
Are you well rested?
I'm decently well rested. We've been in our own quarantine because of my children just being sick all the time.
Because you guys always have the strep
They're
and stuff.
always sick, yeah. So a strep is what's currently in our household. I'm fine.
You have the immune system of a god.
I do. I'm pretty proud of it. I'm not going to lie. I feel pretty good. Or I'm just sick all the time and my body's just like, we don't recognize that anymore.
I'll tell you, so I've been working night shoots on this movie, Dottie and Soul.
Yeah.
And
how's your nighttime, Brian?
Fudge.
Yeah.
It's been night shoots, man. It's been a doozy because there is nothing because first of all, whenever you're on a crew of 50 people, you're all crammed in tight spaces. You're in these pass vans. You're in close proximity with each other. So if one person gets a little cough, it spreads like wildfire. And nothing helps that more than total sleep deprivation.
Right.
So that's been my life, is just being tired as balls and watching the sun crest the horizon at 7 a.m.
Oh, no.
After working a full 12-hour shift.
Oh, how do the actors handle that? Because I know you got some people on there that some people probably take it pretty well, and I'm sure they're professionals. So I'm sure that they are used to it. I'm not trying to dog anybody, but people get cranky. Aaron could never do that, which is why I'd never be an actor. But he could never do an overnight shoot like that.
Oh,
he would be the meanest person alive.
Well, I'll tell you. Okay, so the first day is always pretty rough. Everybody's either cranky or loopy or both. And around 5 a.m, everyone, it's like everyone has been smoking weed and we're all stoned out of our minds, just laughing at anything. We're all just crazy.
You just hit that point. Yeah.
And most of the actors are usually pretty chill, pretty cool about it, depending on the kind of scene that we're doing. Yeah. But this is a comedy, so everybody's pretty upbeat and all that kind of stuff.
That helps.
So Leslie Uggams is one of the stars of this, and she plays Blind Owl on Deadpool.
Yes.
And she is the sweetest woman on the planet.
Aww.
She is so sweet, and you know what? Spending the nights with her has been an absolute
joy.
Dream. It's been great, man, because she's just so cool
nice.
And chill, and she's just so relaxed, and to avoid getting anybody sick, we're wearing our surgical gloves, and we're taking precautions because we don't want her. She's older, so we want to take care of her, make sure that she's okay. But she's like my grandma. She just reminds me of my grandma so much.
Good for her for rocking overnight shoots.
I'm saying,
I would be dead.
I was impressed.
Yeah.
And
what about Pac-Man?
Todd Packer. We're working with David Ketchner on this one as well, and he plays Todd Packer on The Office. He's also, what is the name of his character on Anchorman?
Anchorman. He's
the cowboy hat wearing guy.
Yeah.
And he's a voice actor in tons of stuff. He's in F is for Family. Golly, yeah, he's one of those guys. Like, I could not remember his name.
I know. I just literally all I think about is Todd Packer.
Yeah, and now we're best friends.
I would say he's also on I watched the Bless This Mess, and he's a farmer from Nebraska on that show, and
that's right.
I think he's hilarious on that too. But I was always like, oh yeah, Packer.
Todd Packer. Now he's been super chill. He's one of those guys that he tends to play the same character because his personality is pretty similar to that.
I was wondering about that. Is he like?
He's not a dick. He is not a dick. I want to start by letting everyone know. Okay. David Ketchner is not a dick. Okay. But you could tell that he's definitely been a celebrity for a while.
Yes.
And
he's worked with big time.
Oh, he's huge. And And it's kind of funny because when you work around these people long enough, you start to realize that they don't mean anything by it when they're self-aware.
Right.
There's an arrogance, and then there is just confidence and knowing fact. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
sure.
If Tom Hanks is like, yeah, I mean, I won a couple Oscars.
Yeah, I mean,
you're not going to fault him for being self-aware.
Freaking Tom Hanks, yeah.
Freaking Tom Hanks. And Ketchner's he's pretty close to that.
Like that, okay. I could enjoy being around that though. I think a lot.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Champ
and he starts
kind.
to riff.
By the way, Champ kind from Anchorman. Yep, yeah. Sorry, I had to get there.
And he starts to riff, and it's the funniest freaking thing because a lot of it's pretty freaking foul. And every once in a while he'll do a bit and he'll look at me and he'll like, "You weren't rolling, were you?" And I was like, "Nah, me and you, Dave, me and you." Although I gotta share this one experience. So I was putting a wire on him, and he's a constant joker. He's this is a guy from Second City, New York. Yeah, was on SNL for a while. Right. He's comedy. He's the embodiment of comedy, and those types of guys, it's really hard for him to turn it off.
Yeah,
because it's just who they are. And so I'm putting a wire on him, and he starts tickling me as I'm putting a mic on him. And I cannot describe my reaction in any other way than just having the gayest reaction. Because he's Todd Packer's tickling me, and I can't help but just go, stop it. And then I caught myself, and I was like, yes, I'm done putting a mic on you now, David. I'm going to go over here and and I'm fine.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I don't know how I'd respond. I mean, he would never do that to me because I'm a woman. But
or would he?
Or equal opportunity.
That's right. Yeah, I'm sure he would not.
But no, I'm sure he would not. But I'm just I'm thinking in from my perspective, someone let's just say if Kate McKinnon was tickling me while I mic'd her up. I would I don't know how I'd respond, but I would enjoy it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm hey.
It would be funny.
Let me just say this. I didn't mind.
It would be funny.
I didn't mind. Yeah. You took me all day, David.
That's hilarious.
Todd Packer, Pac-Man. Ooh.
That's so funny.
So that's been my life.
That's your life. Good. Yeah. I like it.
It's been pretty cool.
Good.
He's a good guy.
Okay.
So we got some other cool people that we were talking to today. These guys, they are awesome. I love it because they're humble human beings.
Seriously, so humble, so just do it. They just do the work. That's what's really impressive is they just they do the work.
Yeah, and I just love that when you have guys who have been working internationally at this point. They've shot in Thailand, they've shot in Paris, they've shot all over the world. They're making music videos for all sorts of talent, and not just music videos, but also commercials.
Sorts of things, yeah.
And I love seeing people of that caliber that are also super humble and hardworking.
Yes.
And they're they just know how to do the job.
Right.
And it's just
and
really,
they like
really cool.
doing the job.
Yeah.
That's it's so fun to talk to people obviously that are just so passionate about what they do, and this is one of those situations that.
And it's people like these that make me feel very lazy.
Yes, also that too.
So let's go to our conversation with Lamar+Nik. So Lamar+Nik, welcome to the Okie Show. How are you guys doing?
Hey, doing good.
Doing pretty good.
Hanging in there?
Yeah.
Now,
Today's our tired day.
well, yeah, because you guys just got done shooting for a music video for Husbands, which I think by the time this comes out, it will have been out.
Yeah,
right.
It should be out by then.
Yeah.
So can y'all give us a quick kind of an idea of what it's going to look like? Or what it looks like, future, past?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, there's so basically we kind of, for this one we went into a animation technique called, there's like 5 names for it, but the kind of cutesiest one I guess is scanimation. So it's like or it's known as like picket fence animation. So it's like it works by having several frames of an animation all in one image, and then the only way you can see it animate is by putting like a transparent sheet that has black bars on it, so it has like little thin area you can see through.
Yeah.
And so every time as you move it across the page,
like the old-timey round circle-y in the horror
like a
films.
zoetrope.
Zoetrope.
Yeah.
Like
It's
that,
just
yeah.
like
So,
that.
Yeah. So
That's really cool.
So,
Pretty
but
sure.
it's on a rather than being on something that spins,
Around, yeah.
it's like in that case you're moving both the slit and the image.
Okay.
But this one's just having the image flat, and then you move the bars across it
Wow.
and it animates.
That makes my head hurts just.
That's
Yeah,
so cool.
So you can see those online if you like put that on YouTube.
Yeah.
Scanimations. You'd find like a bunch of animations are usually really simple, like geometric shapes and stuff turning around, and then we were just like, well, why not? I mean, it's only a matter of like how many frames you add into it. So we were like, what if we got people moving or repetitive actions, things like that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So
I want to kind of hone in on your Shins music video for $500,000 because I know it's been a while since that one came out, but it's that so I was watching it earlier this morning. I was just kind of going through all y'all's stuff, doing my stalking before I talk to you guys. And this is the first time I've ever done this. I started watching it and I stopped it midway and I went and got my wife and I was like, you have to watch this. And I started it all over again. And by the time we're halfway through and she's like, my brain hurts.
I had to watch it like a couple times just because I was trying to figure out what was actually happening.
It kind of catches
pieces
you by
like, is
surprise.
it multiple? I was like, is it multiple things being put down or like how is this working? It was so cool. It looked amazing.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. How the hell did you guys do this? For the listeners, the Shins music video for $500,000, kind of describe it to the listeners who haven't seen it.
well, yeah.
It's basically a sticker video.
Stickers, yeah, it was like stickers.
Yeah,
So,
it's like stop motion.
Yeah,
almost.
we've had the sticker idea for quite some time. I think when we met or when we were going to school at OCCC.
yeah.
But initially, what we wanted to do is always have that live action element with the stop motion stickers, but we couldn't really figure out a way to do it like in tandem with the live performance. So what we wound up doing is just taking all these stickers that we had to one location. And it was very much just stop motion. It was the stickers were being placed on top of each other, which made it have that type of layer underneath.
Yeah.
But that was something we didn't even initially think. We were just like, okay, it'll go up and down. But then when we did our first one, we're like, oh, it's going to leave a trail. That's like
a
awesome.
trail of motion happening.
Yeah, like a ripple effect.
Well, I think
Yeah.
because the initial idea, I mean, we had that written in our books for like years and years and years, just sticker video.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times when we think of an idea, we end up like taking one item and we're like, okay, now let's have thousands of them or a lot of
Take it
them
to
or
the
whatever.
extreme.
Yeah. So we like taking to the extreme on that kind of thing. But yeah, so we always thought of like stickers being stuck down in a row so that it would the camera would travel along with the stickers. But then we started realizing like how would that actually look? How fast would you have to move across a surface, like stick them down to a surface for you without that surface like being unrecognizable by how fast it moves. And we actually have a section in the video where there's, we actually take each sticker is in its own place and it is moving along a wall, but all it looks like is just like a seizure-inducing, like bunch of backgrounds like flashing. It's like bricks, cement, like you just see that. But really, in real life, there's like a trail of stickers going down the street or whatever.
So cool.
Wow.
So, but yeah, so then when we started stacking them like that, we realized we're like, oh, that's really cool. And we didn't even really think about it, but there's not really like or at the time we didn't know if there was like a name for that at all. Like we got, this is I forgot what that was posted on. It was like some animation.
Stop motion blog.
Yeah, something like that where like people would talk about all different types of animation and like people were like struggling to come up with what that would actually be called, I guess.
Yeah. Right.
Because usually it's like it is stop motion. That's how we did it. We would put the sticker down, take a picture.
Frame by frame, but
then put the next one down. And so it was like, it's frame by frame. And then we have, there's like little masks around it so that we can show like a regular motion image. Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's kind of I was going to say it's kind of similar to Scanimation in a way that it's like all animation is pretty much technically the same. It's always frames, it's just kind of the different way you do it. Like the Scanimation that we're doing, it's technically just the same type of frame by frame, but it's just the technique in which you do it can drastically change the overall project.
So like the ones we did in this one we shot last night, each of those animations, there's no animation that's over 12 frames basically. Because we can't get more than that on those weird images. Yeah. Without it looking like total crap. but yeah. I mean, the Shins one, I think, that's one that we're dealing with. The entirety of the video is, as long as the song is going on, there is a frame being shown. So it's like,
it's like a 4.5 minute video. Yeah. So like, how many stickers did you have?
I think it's like 4,000 or something. 4,000 something. Wow. It's on the Vimeo thing in the description. We like put it up there.
The behind the scenes of it. Yeah,
I really enjoyed watching those behind the scenes. It was like you can see the sun moving to show the time lapse.
People always bring that up.
Like this took days.
I legit sat there all day. Yeah, you could. There's that one part. Yep. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That's our thing. I guess we like torture. I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
because it's like we had to come up with. We had to. Shoot the band, then we had to edit the video, then show the label, and we're like, well, if you don't like this, then you're not going to like the video because that's the only edit you're going to get. Like, really? I mean, once we were sticking the stickers down, we'd send them a sheet, I think, of like what the backgrounds are going to be. Like what are these different images going to be paired with? And they had to kind of, I guess we forced them to use their animation, their imagination a little bit.
Walk me through the pitch process for something like that, because this is the stuff that you guys do is very Michel Gondry, which I know you in previous talks you guys have mentioned Michel Gondry as kind of an inspiration, which I absolutely see and I love it. But how do you pitch something like that to a label or to a client where it's very visually based? It's like how do you do that? Without them being like,
I don't get it. Yeah.
I think you wrote the treatment for that one, but
man, there's a lot of interesting things with this video. Actually,
you did a test one. You did a test video, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, for that particular one, we did a test video, which is, I think, with a lot of our ideas, is like a little hard to do test videos, just because they're like, I don't know. Some of the ideas are like we need money to do it,
right?
It'd be hard to give you like an accurate test. Anything near that
without going full blown and doing
Luckily with this one we did have a previous video that we had done. The lead singer of that used to be in the Shins, and they're a band based in Seattle called Deep Sea Diver, and we for the test video we used like frames from the Deep Sea Diver video that we did with her in it, and then sent that in the treatment.
Nice.
Because we were like, I don't know if that's bad or good, but it's related. So.
Wow.
It turned out it was fine though. Yeah.
How much back and forth is there with the label whenever you're trying to pitch these things?
We might as well go through like the whole
so
happens,
the pitching process. So we got repped a while ago, like 2011? But before that, we always did videos by ourselves. But now, when it's something like the Shins or something with a budget, our reps will send us the track, and that track will have a certain amount of money, and they'll have like usually an idea of what they want. So we listen to the song.
Like a style.
Yeah, we listen to the song separately. We'll be like, hey, we got a track. We'll let each other know that we have it. We'll both listen to it. We'll both come up with like a list of ideas, just kind of whatever visually is coming to mind, or something from our books. We have like these books full of ideas that we think would make for cool visuals.
They're really funny notes too. 'Cause like anybody reading it would be like, "What does that mean?"
No idea what we're talking about.
I just like literally have a note that says bleach on black fabric.
Yeah, but I know that.
Yeah.
Wait.
And then we kind of just make a PDF or a PowerPoint and just kind of walk them through what we think the video will be.
Yeah.
And then if we can, we'll add a test video like he did for the Shins. And we send that off, and this is where the music video industry gets real shit. We don't, unless we get the video, we might not even hear back if they like the idea, if we got the video, or any of that.
They just leave you in limbo.
They just leave us in limbo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Until recently it's gotten a lot better.
It's gotten a lot better
There's
recently,
a organization of like all music video directors that came together called We Direct Music Videos, which they started. It's sort of like a union without it being formal in that way. So they've been like working on like pitching guidelines and like how that works and trying to lobby the labels. So it's gotten a little bit better, but definitely when we were doing the Shins, it was like set it and forget it. Like just send
so
it in
crazy.
and then maybe we'll hear back, maybe we won't.
Wow.
The treatments, going back to kind of like how we pitch it, it's what sucks about that is it really isn't like a 2-hour thing. It's like,
Oh yeah.
it's like 2 full days where we're just thinking about it, thinking of something that would even be worth to put the effort into treatment for
us in the first place.
So you got to make the initial investment in time and resources
and that's
just to
all
make
free.
the pitch.
Yeah, and that's all
for free. Gosh.
Yeah.
Well, it's like playing the lottery almost.
Yeah, I mean, 100%.
And I think that's maybe like, that's part of maybe what people don't think about when they think about how much like a director or somebody in like one of the higher positions gets paid is like there's a lot of work where you're just doing work for free until it actually happens. So like
Until they're
when
like,
we get paid for a video, we're getting paid for the last like several months of trying to get a video. You know.
Yeah.
And then what furthers how that is that video didn't have that much money on it, so we didn't make any money.
Right.
That one in particular did have money. Because when we first got the brief, it was $20K. And we were like, okay, it's the Shins, like...
The 20K is still really not that much. in the
Yeah,
grand
I mean,
scheme
no.
of things.
Not if you want a crew. I mean,
Yeah.
20K might be a lot for what the animation we did.
Right.
It's not that we can actually execute that for that money. But go on.
So it was $20K when we first got it, and we pitched, and we didn't hear anything. So it was like a month or two go by, and we're like, whatever, it's gone. They come back, and they're like, hey, we still want to do the video, but the budget's cut in half.
Not even that. We really like the idea.
We really
But-
like the idea.
Now it's 10K.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
jeez.
We're like, I mean, what? That's like
So at that point, we kind of had to weigh, like, do we like the Shins enough to do this for the money?
How much do I like this band to
And
donate my time?
But for us, I think that was, which is super strange, it was the first label in the U.S. that we actually worked for, is Columbia.
Yeah.
So we were like, we might as well do this because all of our stuff previously had always come from the UK.
Yeah.
So that kind of opened some,
That opened
at least elbow rubbing doors
Yeah. I mean,
to
Saul-
meet people. And
It's just the commissioner over there. His name's Saul. He's a really cool dude. Shout out.
Saul Levitz.
Yeah, but So after we got that to come through, we decided just to go ahead and go for it. I think he touched on it, but we went up to Vancouver and filmed the band because they were on tour. So there was like literally no way.
Yeah.
to get
I guess
seen.
So you had to hunt them down
Wow.
while they're
Yeah. Well, I guess for reference, like I live in Seattle. He lives here in Oklahoma City or Norman. And so they were like the band's in Portland, and we were like, well, no matter what, he could like fly to Seattle, and then we just drive down to Portland, and then they ended up being on tour, and we're like,
just kidding,
we'll just
Canada.
we'll just drive to Vancouver then the other way. We had to hit up Vancouver. Man, God, the hotel, or the man, I'm just remembering all this stuff, like the building. We got an Airbnb and like a building, and Vancouver actually is good for renters, but they have like strong laws about Airbnbs and like
Really?
we didn't know that. But this person renting out the Airbnb was like totally not supposed to have that. There was like, I had to talk to Airbnb about it because there was like 5 signs between the time like we parked in the in the parking garage and got up to the room. There's like 5 signs that says like, if you are an Airbnb guest, you are not allowed to be
Oh my
here.
gosh.
Yeah.
The guy's just
no.
like, shh.
I was like,
Yeah.
Be fine.
I mean, I
Yeah.
think you literally texted him on the app, and he was like, "Oh, don't worry about it. They always do
It's
that."
no big
Yeah,
deal,
like,
man.
yeah, exactly.
It's no
It was
big
like,
deal,
what are you
man.
talking about? We got oh yeah, every morning we were there like
2 days.
Yeah, 2 nights or something like that. So every time we woke up and got down to the car, there was like 5 of those notes on the car.
Oh my gosh.
On the
I was like,
outside of the
"Get
door.
out."
Because remember, we opened the door, they were like on the ground.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
I was just like, what?
Or I guess it
The
would be get
elevator.
out.
Cute.
yeah, get out.
Yeah.
I want to be the nosy
much,
neighbor in that kind of a building where I'm just like, who are you? You're not welcome here. Are you an Airbnb-er?
I mean, and I have to say, like, I can't disagree. Like, if I was in that building, I'd be like, dude, what?
Get out.
What are you talking about?
No, that's crazy.
How many
Yeah.
days of production was it to shoot just this one music
Yeah.
video?
Oh man,
It probably would have been 2 weeks. But
if it was straight
Yeah.
and well, I don't know about that because so for instance, in this video, there's like 2 shots that has the checkers in them. So there's like the first one's longer and the second one's a little shorter and a little more simple. But both of those shots together were like 8 hours of shooting.
Whoa.
yeah.
And that's not including the like pre-shoot, which
Right.
was like shooting the band on the and in
Oh my
Vancouver.
gosh.
So
Wow.
just that one was 8 hours, and that wasn't the only 8 hours we spent that day working. We spent like a whole like I don't know, yeah, like
It was
probably
the
a
full
whole
day.
probably a whole like 8 hours before
Before
that
that,
doing
yeah.
other
Wow.
and then did that. So we were at like that one was done in OU.
Yeah,
we were
it was
like
the-
sitting at some table in one of the places to hang out, and just like
Wow.
till 2 a.m. I think.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Security guard was there too, just chilling. I remember that.
So I want to take a step back and let's travel back in time to the very beginning of all this, because when you made this Shins music video and where you are right now, you guys have representation. You know, you're doing stuff for like pretty established bands internationally, which is crazy. But like, how did it all start? What led you to where you are now?
Skate videos.
Yeah.
Skating videos?
So
Skate
like,
videos,
we both started filming by ourselves with the VX1000s. It's like a very popular skate camera.
Yeah.
And there's videos from girl skateboards like Yeah Right and Mouse, and a lot of people don't know this, but Spike Jonze actually like owns part of those companies. So like when you'd watch the skate video, every once in a while there'd be a skit in there that just like blow your mind. There was like a skit
Yeah.
in Yeah Right where he did green skateboards. So everybody was skating, but the boards were like not there. So all these people were
Oh,
floating
cool.
on rails
Yeah.
and stuff.
Wow.
That's pretty. It's pretty
Yeah.
iconic. There's like
Yeah.
you know he had like motion control cameras and
Whoa.
and painted everything. Yeah,
and
it's
but this is
good.
just like in like a
Just like a skate
super
video.
street skate video.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's nothing like really production value about any of the other stuff, but out of nowhere there would just be this.
Amazing.
really sick. Short, yeah, it's like
Yeah,
really
And,
amazing. Yeah,
yeah. And so you know, we watched that and we started doing our own kind of just really stupid shorts with skateboarding involved. But I think we came to a point where we were like, we can either go to California with our friends who actually did wind up turning pro.
Yeah.
Clint Walker and Kyle Walker, no relation. Or we could stay here and just try to do something with video, because I think for me at least, I was like, if I could just edit, like I don't think I would hate my life. Like if
nice.
if I could just edit all day, like, and that's my job, like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
so
it's
that's
fine,
when
yeah.
so that's when I went to Triple C, and then he came along shortly after, because I started. We have no mentors. Like no one told us anything. We don't know shit about anything.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of going to OCCC for him and me was just to learn, like,
It's
what
like-
a C stand is.
Yeah, it's like
what
filling
all
in
the-
filling in the blanks. Like we
Yeah.
we spent a lot of time like self-teaching, editing, and like motion graphics. You know, earlier on we were like, yeah, we're gonna do like special effects,
Cinema
we're gonna get
4D.
Cinema 4D, and Maya, and I literally had on my computer
Had 'em
Cinema
all.
4D, Maya, Shake,
Apple one.
Nuke, like all those like all the special effects programs.
Yeah.
And then we realized like, oh, that's not very fun. Not for us. Like it was just
I
like,
mean,
wow.
8 hours in front, like doing the stickers is way more rewarding to us than 8 hours of like mouse clicking.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I
Well,
just-
it's tactile, like
Yeah,
working with your
yeah,
hands and stuff.
yeah.
I think it just turned out like we would watch videos and then it's sort of that thing of when you watch something and you're like, oh, they did that for real. Like
Yeah.
you think
Yeah.
when you think something special effects or you think something is like just edit it or something, and then you see it, you're like, you see the behind the scenes, and it's just like
mind blowing.
Someone's got like 80 of one thing, and and it's like, or for like stop motion or something, it might have like different size blocks or something, and you're like, whoa.
I've always
they
thought
did that all
like,
for real. Like,
practical effects are always so much more impressive than visual effects.
It's the magic.
And that's
the magic
Yeah.
of movie
exactly,
making.
exactly. And that was the other thing is like we're also like, and this is not even new. Like people have already done this.
That's like the oldest style of filmmaking there is, really.
Yeah.
It's like stop motion, basically.
Yeah.
And I think even in movies, I'm much more impressed with like a movie where things are done in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And you know, there's certain things where you have to like accentuate. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you need a little extra snow or
you
something.
enhance it with
I don't
visual
know.
effects, but you're not leaning on the visual effects specifically.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's why, like, even down to like Christopher Nolan, who has a lot of special effects in his movies, but you're like, oh, but he tilted an entire cafe. Okay.
Yeah. Like, so cool. He built a hallway that twisted and turned.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
holy
I
shit,
love
man.
that.
It's
Yeah.
like, it's the melding of like the editing aspect,
Yeah.
which is very like intellectual. You can do it, you know, and then the creative aspect of what you can. I can make this happen if I.
Yeah.
Well,
try
that was
this.
the other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like anybody can do it.
Yeah.
Like I think that's one of our first things. Actually, the first video. Well, it was actually the second video that we ever did, but it's the first video that we were like, okay, we're gonna try to be music video directors, like actually. And it was like us building a city out of ice, like a little miniature city out of ice.
That was for what was the name? Husbands?
Houses.
Yeah.
Close.
The other H band.
But yeah, so it was like that one, and then the one right after that was for Lush Life's Magnolia, which was like 188 cardboard words that you can wear on your head. Like with both of those videos, that's all shit. Like, you can go do that right now.
Yeah.
We got all the cardboard for free. Cardboard is like a bountiful resource. Like, you don't realize how much of it's
Come to
out
my
there.
house,
And it's
Amazon
recyclable.
Prime.
Yeah. So it was kind of also the thought of like, literally anybody can do this. You're just not going to do it.
Right.
Right.
Like, you know, like
The only thing holding you back is your own work ethic at that point.
right. And it's like,
much,
I think
Because I don't think either of us view ourselves as like auteurs at all. Like we're just these guys, and we come up with an idea, and we're like, we actually do it. We just like, even if it fails, we try so hard to make it happen.
Yeah. Well, and that's the fun of that tactile thing is like you're kind of, is there an improvisational aspect to some of it?
Yeah, for sure.
definitely. I mean, literally yesterday we changed the way we were going to film it, like on the day we were shooting. It's like crazy, but it worked out better.
Yeah. Wow.
So but I think like also with something we're actually, well, especially like ice, when we were doing that, like, oh my God, you just learn more about the thing you're working with than you ever thought you were.
It's like a science lesson.
Oh yeah, we'll just do this thing like for like, we'll make molds, and then, you know, make the eye, like pour the water in there, and then you find out how long it takes for that to freeze. And then you find out how quickly that melts. And then you're like, oh, I can't heat the garage either, so because it'll just melt even worse. And then you're like, oh, and then water's like acid to ice. It's like water does not exist, or ice does not exist anymore as soon as ice is or water's introduced. Wow, it's like, what the fuck?
It was funny last night when I was driving home from our shoot. I literally thought to myself, I was like, I never want to see another Scanimation, and I was like, is that when we know we've done a good video?
Yeah,
we literally don't want to see the thing ever again.
I don't want to fuck with ice anymore. I don't want to
stickers. Nope.
I mean, like the Shins video, we spent. We had to film the band. That's first. We get all the footage, then we edit it, then we export that whole thing as frames. Like the whole video is all frames. Then you've got to convert that into a PDF, a massive PDF that is way bigger than any PDF's supposed to be. File size wise, and then you have to like go to FedEx and like be like, look, it's really important that these are all in order. It's really important. So as well with the Shins one, we were smart this time and put page numbers on it, so that was cool. But they didn't mess it up either, so
That's good.
but then we have to cut them all out.
Oh, God.
We cut them all out
by hand. You can't
by hand.
By hand.
Yeah, we didn't get them laser cut like that. We had somebody the other day say, like, "Oh, I thought you got them like Like someone like.
Don't you love it after the fact when people have ideas? They're like, "Why didn't you just laser cut it?"
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. That's helpful.
Yeah, that was
for right now.
$1,000 more.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah.
Try doing that on no money.
Exactly. Yeah.
So then you have to cut it all out, keep that organized, because it's like in the Shins videos, like we had multiple pieces sometimes for certain animations. So those are like the same frame, but multiple pieces. And after you cut them out, you're like, oh.
This is like giving me anxiety listening to it, just thinking about a light wind or like
Someone sneezed and ruined everything.
heaven forbid a toddler or I don't even know what we're walking.
Sneezes,
just oh my goodness.
Yeah.
A cat decides.
Yeah. What have you done, Friskers?
Yeah, right.
But I think specifically after we cut them out, we avoided that as well because on the back we wrote the number.
Yeah.
Oh, good call, good call.
yeah.
So-
You're learning. You got it.
The full disclosure, we had done another video that was similar. Well, we used a similar medium, which was paper. This was just cardstock the first time, but that was for Samantha Crane.
Yeah.
Never Going Back, and we cut out all the frames that time. We did not write. I don't think we wrote.
No.
We wrote frame numbers on it after we cut it out.
Ooh.
But we didn't have frame numbers on it when we printed them. So we had to like flip book it to make sure.
Oh, wow.
We were like, yeah, that looks right. Like that's
Just eyeball it.
Yeah.
That's as much as we did. And it worked
gosh.
out that time, but wow.
I love it.
Yeah. But then, yeah. And then after we cut it out, then we're sticking them. We have to figure out where we're gonna.
Where they're going.
Yeah.
The locations are. We have all these backgrounds that are like either related to the lyrics or not. But we had to come up with all the scenarios and then go shoot those and find out a way to do it where we could have the real, like the regular motion
Yeah.
matched up with the stickers.
How do you come up with a game plan for something like that? Because it's not like whenever we're shooting narrative stuff, like you have your blocking layout and you shoot coverage based on the blocking. This is a arts and crafts project, it sounds like.
Wild, yeah.
It is really.
I think goes back to like even when we first started, we always would plan down to the second. With our videos, it's not really as much editing at the end. Yeah. Because before we do anything, we literally know how the video is supposed to look. Like every single section, there's no.
Do you guys do previs stuff at all, or
we storyboard? Okay. And sometimes if we do have some stuff, we'll do some mock animation.
We do, yeah. I feel like it really depends on the idea, for sure. But yeah, we do try to storyboard. I feel like our most successful ones are always when we have like at least even stick figures, like drawn out what it's going to be like. I mean, yeah, I guess this one we had.
I drew storyboard.
Better than stick figures, but yeah, I don't know. It'd be nice to do like an animatic. That'd be amazing if we had that.
Yeah,
we should
did for those commercials. We just got it hired though.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
It would be nice if one of us was like good at drawing.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
That's the thing.
That's so
we're
cool.
not really that artistic. That's what's weird. It's like
It's an artistic thing, that's
You
for sure.
guys, I refuse to believe that. That's
Well, he's thinking like you're saying like
Specifically
classic and
drawing,
Yeah, like
classically artistic.
painting.
we're not classically artistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not gonna find me
Draw a
painting or
face,
drawing.
like-
I'm not-
Yeah.
I'll join. I like to do little doodly little things. Yeah. I'm making invitations for my sister-in-law's wedding. Not invitations, name cards for her. She wants a seating chart. I'm making the name cards because I saw on Etsy that these things sell for $3 a piece of paper this big. It's got like the gold foil around it and watercolor. And I was like, I can do that. And I bought like a $5 pack of watercolor paper and started like rubbing it. And I watched a bunch of videos, and now I'm like a pro.
See, that's our exact motto.
That is exactly what we do every
There you
single time. Every single time.
Now I just need to do just film me doing that.
Yeah.
And then I have my own music video for my life.
Boom.
Yeah.
There we go.
I mean, that's the thing though, is like you'll watch a video online, whatever that is, and if it's something that's, a pretty good example would be like miniatures.
Yeah.
Someone who makes miniatures like really good, you're like, oh wow, that looks really cool, and like it's so small, it's something you could do.
Yes,
like you could do it, right?
Have you ever watched? No, you probably haven't. I've like gone down weird YouTube holes, like of tiny little people making little food out of like real food. I think it's.
Oh yeah.
Walking
They
with
feed their
giants.
hamster or something.
It's awesome, and he like little mini Jimmy Chung.
Oh, I have seen that. I
And
have seen that.
like,
yep.
I'm like, am I stoned watching this? No, I don't think so. I should do that though, because that would
And
I
then
don't know.
Matt Damon was super inspired and made downsizing.
Yes.
But that's my point though, is like you could do that.
Right.
But I guarantee you, as soon as you start that, you're gonna be like, oh wow, this problem and this
Trial
problem, this
and
problem.
error, yeah.
And you have to actually like
Want it
you don't
enough
get
to
to
keep
cheat the
going.
process.
Yeah. Right.
You
Yeah.
have to start and then you go, oh, like I'm missing like these 5 elements and
Right.
like this would actually help a lot more. And then I think like by the end of each one of our videos, we're like, oh, that would have made it better.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
for sure. There's definitely been some stuff I'm like,
Yeah.
why didn't I just do it that way?
Yeah.
That literally happened yesterday with
Oh, yeah.
like how we mounted the camera. We were like, "What are we doing?" We did like I had to run to Home Depot in the morning. It's like, why do we do it that way?
Yeah.
What were we thinking?
That's awesome.
Grandson, I'd like to read you a book.
A book?
That's right. When I was your age, television was called books, and this is a very special book. A book my father used to read to me when I was sick, and I used to read it to your father. And today I'm going to read it to you. Now, Chapter 1. Altgate is a commercial insurance broker with film and entertainment expertise, headquartered in Oklahoma.
Grandpa?
At Altgate, they're experts in film and entertainment insurance. Like one time we were shooting down in a valley and a monsoon came out of nowhere. Within minutes, the whole set and all of our equipment was underwater. But guess what?
You had production insurance?
We had production insurance. Another time we were shooting in a historic building and a grip sent a C-stand sailing right through the priceless painting. Boom!
Oh, jeez. Did you have...
You bet your small coffee keister we had production insurance.
Are you reading that book?
Altgate Insurance has the same access to insurance as a broker from New York or LA, but they're in Oklahoma, you see. That means you get the Oklahoma film rebate and local people available anytime you need them.
But I have influenza.
Check them out online at oklahoma-film.com or call them at 918-574-4555. They place annual policies for producers of all types, post-production E&O, and specific film project policies for budgets of all sizes. And they work with musicians, too, placing insurance for gigs and events of all types.
Can they get annual policies for production companies as well as one-off insurance for a single production?
Sure as shootin'. No matter what's your budget, whether it's a $5,000 budget or a $15 million budget, Altgate Insurance can help you. And they can also find you coverage for post-production errors and omissions. And you're gonna need it in order to get your film distributed.
Grandpa?
Yeah, kid?
I kind of feel like we should call Altgate at 918-574-4555 for our movie's production insurance. That's 918-574-4555.
You're a smart kid, you know that? Oh, look at that. Huh. And they all lived happily ever after. The end.
Hey, Grandpa?
Yeah, kid?
That was a weird book. Actually, it kind of felt more like a podcast mid-roll ad. But maybe 2 weeks from now you can read it to me again.
As you wish.
How did you guys get to the point of representation? Like in the world of music video production, what does that mean to have representation?
Man, I'd say
Yeah, are they called agents or it's just like a...
So they
it's a direct for directors like music videos.
Okay.
Well, for directors in general, it's like director's rep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like if
a
you're
rep,
small,
okay.
you're not gonna have like.
Okay.
So you're not in
agent.
the Directors Guild, but it's
No.
similar?
No,
No.
there's no union. It's just like basically all the production companies that are out there. They have somebody. Basically the way they get work is by having a cool roster of directors, and if they have a roster of directors, they got to have somebody to like represent them.
Okay.
So they will either have in-house reps or they'll have like a third party that will be they're just a repping company.
Okay.
So that's what happened to us at the very beginning was we got repped by a company in the UK called OB Management, and so they would their job basically was to send us those briefs that Jesse was talking about a second ago. So
Yeah.
So it's just like how much money, where it shoots, when it shoots, kind of what they're thinking. If they have an idea, is it an open brief? That kind of stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's
And do they take a cut from your budget?
10%.
10%.
10%.
So, yeah,
Oh,
okay.
it's
So,
like kind
really
of
an
an
agent.
price. Yeah.
like I guess in the case of like a third party, if they're working for a production company, then the production company will pay them, and we're not paying them.
Gotcha.
But the production company will take, they have their chunk of the budget, whatever,
Right.
whatever they're
Okay.
taking. But yeah, it's usually like 10%.
Okay.
So, but that's not our money. Like it's not coming from us.
Right.
Right.
Like
You're not having to pay them.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
But we get 10% of the budget as the fee.
Okay.
In our case, we have to split that because
Right.
we're two. But
Yeah.
but
That's true in a directing duet situation, I guess.
Yeah,
You
right.
do have to split that.
I could see that.
Coen brothers aren't as well off as we thought they were.
Yeah, right.
Hey, are there any? This is always like for people, maybe newer people to this. What would be a warning sign for like a scammy situation? Like knowing what is legitimate as a representation or like and something that maybe is trying. I don't know if that exists. I know that in the acting world, that's a thing.
In acting world and like in actual feature
Yeah.
films, like I think that's much bigger
It's a
of an
bigger
audience.
problem?
Like music videos, it's like everyone in music videos knows who's in music videos.
Okay.
It's so small. There's
Okay.
like I think
That's why there's no union.
There's
That's why
Yeah.
we're like the directors in music videos constantly get screwed over. Like
Interesting.
like just as a fact of how it works. Like we
Okay.
were saying, the pitching process.
Yeah.
We're just doing tons of work
And just
for no
waiting,
reason. Like
yeah.
like that's the other part we didn't talk about is like when one of those briefs goes out, it goes out to like
To
it
everybody.
can go out to like
So there's
60
so many
people.
pitches
It's like an
coming in.
ad agency, like in Mad
Wow.
Men. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like,
pretty
okay,
much,
the pitching party. There's 4 people involved,
yeah.
but you don't even know how many people are involved.
Yeah, so that's the thing is like, we have no idea.
Wow.
When it comes down to commercials, the ad agency will pick like 3 people
As
that you're
like a
pitching
top-
as. That's way
Yeah.
more
Then
you
simple.
start-
Then it's like
Yeah.
the Joker splitting the pool cue and saying fight.
yeah, pretty much.
right? Yeah.
Make it fast.
All understand the rules here.
yeah. But yeah, so we're just doing all this work, and then like they could just. That's the other thing. They could throw out a brief for everybody to pitch on, while simultaneously knowing that the band has their friend that they really want to direct the video, and the band usually gets
There
What
was
they want.
Right.
in that, because essentially when a music video happens, it's the artist's money. Like,
Oh.
Yeah.
like that's what you don't realize. Is like it's not the
That's
label
who's
paying for it.
putting up
It's
the
the
money to
label.
make them.
It's the label paying for it ahead of time, but then
Yes.
that comes out of album
Artists.
sales.
Right.
Oh,
Interesting.
Yeah.
So
So the
they
artist-
do feel like they have quite a bit of say in how the process
It's
might
just
go.
another way to screw over creatives,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah. It's
What's that like working side by side with the bands, of like they have something in their mind, you have something in your mind. What's that like, that back and forth of
Yeah.
like trying to find common ground?
I'm trying to think of it. I think maybe M&K would really be the only one where we did that. I think with a lot of our ideas, it's usually an all or nothing thing. Like
Oh,
the
okay.
Shins,
Yeah.
it's like he was saying, it was like, I mean, we can explain to you the idea, but you're not going to ever 100% know what's in our head.
Right.
So there has to be a little bit of trust there, and I think we lean towards projects where that trust is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we do. It's not like we're dictators about it or anything. Like we do collaborate with the artists and be like, "This is what we're thinking." Like for instance, we literally
we asked them if they have any input.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Okay.
But when it comes to like, I think we probably wouldn't go for a project where an artist they already have an idea completely formulated. Where like that's the other part about music videos. The reason that directors do them is not to make money, because right now there's not that much money in them.
Yeah.
Even though, just saying, the record labels are now making tons of money off of that because of YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like they're all about to go like public and stuff. So,
Yeah.
well, maybe not now, but I forgot what I was saying. Well, I don't know what's happening.
The labels are all about to go public, but basically, yeah, with music videos, right? There was the golden age of the '90s.
Yeah.
But then everything went downhill with the budgets. But so what happened is that videos started getting uploaded to YouTube, and they were kind of like checking to see if this would make money. But now it's like, I think music videos are either the number 1 or number 2 thing viewed on YouTube, period.
Right.
Like that's how people find
Yeah.
new music.
Yeah.
So they are making that money that they used to not make when there was that transition period. But us as directors,
Yeah.
we have not seen
Yeah.
those increases. It's
Yeah.
still like, I don't know
Well,
if you,
the trade-off I was going to say is like the reason we do them is because we get to be creative.
Right.
Like, we
Right.
get to
Because
do
otherwise
something
it seems like
that's more our
no
idea.
point.
The artist could
Yeah.
just hire people with a camera to film it.
that's funny you say
and
that,
be the
because-
director themselves.
because that's literally how we
but,
think
But
about
you
it.
guys have. I mean, I think that again, it's almost like when we talked about mastering. It's one of those things
Yeah.
where, yeah, you can do it yourself. Like you can think that you hear the right things yourself, but then you take it to someone who does it professionally, and you you just have to hand it over and let them like it's going to be amazing.
And then you get it back and you're like, oh, that's why
I didn't do it myself. Yeah. And because you guys have way more knowledge and you've had way more experience learning from different things too.
Yeah.
We've had some wild briefs with artist ideas in them. We're like, okay.
What's the craziest like idea? Just a...
There's one I won't say the I'm not going to say the artist. I think we're probably thinking of the same one. Go ahead and say it.
The cat one?
Yup.
There was like calls for shots, and that's when we're like, I don't know, because he's like,
it's like specific shots that they want to do, and it's like, all right, well, I don't want to do that shot.
A cat falling in slow mo in the air
onto a beanbag chair. That's specific. And that's the real thing that was in the brief.
Yeah, and then and later on he was like, and we need like a chick in there, maybe redhead, maybe hot.
What?
It's like, dude, I don't
dancing around it, maybe like, hot, maybe like I don't know, well endowed.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
My thing is like, why you say two maybes? Like you obviously have a preference, perfect idea of what you want it to be.
But it's but even then, like if it's loose enough to where we can like bring it together. But still have. I think the main thing for us is like we want our videos to have at least our voice in it, because if our voice isn't in it, then it's just like it's just a freelance.
If our voice is in it, we have to be making tons of money on it. Like that would be the plus then. It's like, okay, so then I get a massive payday. Which is the thing your idea.
Which is the thing with commercials, like we'll do a commercial for toilet paper right now.
Yeah.
Like
I don't care.
I don't care what it's for. Like
topical.
Because specifically, like we don't even come up with those ideas. The ad agency comes up with the ideas, and then they bring it to us, and they're like, "How are you going to make this cool?"
You do it, and then you get paid. Yeah.
They have like the blueprint, and then we're supposed to like bring our style to it. That's why an ad agency would be picking us over some other director. We really like their style though. And that's what happens every time we've gone to an ad agency where we're about to do a commercial. As soon as we walk in, the creators are like, "Oh man, I really liked your music video for such and such," and we're like, "Yeah, it's cool." And they're always like the coolest people. And
that's awesome.
They have like that type of creative ideas, and then there's the people that are like on the business side, and they're like, all right, well, how are you gonna make this idea cool?
We would like to
not like that video that you did.
a viral video. Do you find that like in the age of YouTube that like people are demanding more manufactured virality?
Viral is always in that conversation. 100% of the time.
There's no way to
they don't say viral specifically. What they say is we want to make an impact.
We want to make it.
We want to make an impact with this single because such and such.
There's something bigger though. They say impact, but they say like a.
We want to make an impact.
It's like something impact. It's like a.
That's great.
They'll always say they want to go off the grain, or we're looking for outside of the box ideas.
Outside of the box is a common, and they never want to go outside the box. What they mean
is, we want
very
50 million people to watch this video.
We want it to be outside the box, but just inside the line of the box.
Oh my God.
Like in terms of like things to spice videos up, we've been offered one video where they were like, we have like access to 6 YouTube influencers. And if there's any way you could squeeze them into the video.
It's like product placement, but with influencers.
People.
So that they could share it with their 50 million followers.
Exactly.
Well, and that's the thing is like I think that thinking also comes from the time that was very recent when music videos weren't making any money. There was just like a lot of money being put into it, and they don't get a whole bunch of benefit, but they do have to do it because it's one of their public facing things. And so that's when there's a whole slew of videos that were like probably like whatever, like say 2012 to like 2015 or so, where it was like the Beats pill was like in every video.
Oh jeez.
It's because they anytime you see that, there's like blatant product placements in there because they get the money to do the video. They're just like, as long as you include our product and do these type of, sometimes they have specific shots for that. We haven't had to do that yet, but but I mean, I'm always willing to do a video. Throw me a Beats pill, we'll do it.
What advice would you give young filmmakers that are wanting to make a living doing music videos? You know, like what are the steps that they can take to?
I would say it's super rare to make a living doing music videos. Like there's like. I think we could probably
making
count
a
10,
living.
I think we could probably count 10 that legitimately like they are just music video directors. Like most music video directors, even the ones that are really, really popular, they usually have something on the side that they're having to do, like edit or whatever,
Yeah.
because it simply just doesn't pay enough. But the upside is like what Nick said, is you get to make the creative content that can lead you to the next step.
Right.
Yeah, whatever that.
Well,
Whatever
there's
that is
so
that-
many large directors.
Yeah.
Not large as an obese, but popular directors that started off in music videos. Like,
and that was so with Spike Jonze and Michelle Gondry, they had the same exact model that we're kind of doing, where it's like you do music videos because the thing with music videos is there's a music scene wherever you're at.
yeah.
And it's easy access to people, and if the music's actually good, you could help send that artist's career, but also ride that wave with them as well.
Yeah.
So David Fincher did it as well as Michelle
Yeah.
Gondry. Like
David
they just start
Fincher's
music
my
videos,
favorite.
then you go to commercials, then you go to features.
Right.
Yeah,
Which
that's the idea. If you get representation, you really want to pay attention to the commercials a lot because they pay a lot of money. Like that is by far the thing that you would make money off of if that's what you're gonna be. Like any of our, like we know a lot of directors, we're friends with a lot of them, and they like all of them have stuff on the side, and all of them are like looking for commercials.
Nice.
They want to do the music videos, but like commercials will,
You gotta pay those
will
bills.
pay the bills.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not like, and it's experience. That's the main
Right.
thing, is like when you're on set, like one of our friends put it really in this kind of funny way where like it feels like when you're not getting jobs that you're like, man, I've only been a director for like 12 days. Like if you've got 12 videos or whatever, you're like, like 12 one-day shoots. That's when I was a director. Or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the way it feels.
That's a
but
sobering thought.
yeah, and that sounds really dismal, but obviously, like part of being a director is like the like lead up to all of
Right.
it. You have to
Right.
like, I think by far something to keep in mind is like a director is quite often on the project for the longest amount of time. Like at least in music videos, if you're thinking about like true lifespan of that, like if you want to make money, be a DP.
yeah, you
Oh, yeah, I
jump
bet.
from
You
job
literally
to
just
job,
go
like-
from like you can maybe give it a day buffer on every edge on all the edges, but like you could legit shoot a new job every day
Yeah.
as long as you had enough time to like prep for it. Like,
Yep.
but well, there's no way you could do that as a director. Like you just can't. Like,
Yeah.
like there's
That's
the,
a funny-
the pre-production, there's the
that's a-
shoot, there's the post,
Yeah.
and then there's like finding the
with
next job.
labels,
Yeah,
like-
That's
talking
such
to
an
all the
important
people,
thing
yeah.
for people to kind of think of.
Yeah.
I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
whenever they're getting into, because it's, you know, every film
Yeah.
student's like, I'm going to direct, I'm going to produce.
Yeah.
You know, like that's such a
I mean, I think it's
interesting
just,
thing to keep in mind.
yeah, I mean, I think you just have to choose something that you actually want to do and go for it. That could be shorts, that could be a spec commercial, that could be a music video. I think for us, it was music videos where we saw the possibilities of where it could go, but we also knew it was something we could handle.
and we
It could-
liked. We were
yeah,
like, we like
yeah.
this. This would be fun.
Yeah.
It would be fun just to like, work out the kinks of our process and
Yeah.
any things like that. But
I mean, I think like for someone trying to get into it, like the biggest piece of advice I would give, and this is what sucks, is like I know when someone listens to this, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, whatever. But like it truly is like you have to just make something. Like even now, like we just did this video yesterday, and that had no budget on it, and we just made that happen. And that's like any like downturns in our career have happened when we're not doing something on our own.
And we're
Like when
waiting
we're
for
not
reps,
when
yeah.
we're waiting for someone else
Yeah.
to do something for you. And that's truly the thing. The most powerful thing is to have a finished product, like a finished project that you're able to put out online and be like, I made that.
Yeah.
And then no one can deny you anything. Like I made
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
that
It's hard to
then-
deny you're creative when you're being creative and
Yeah.
making
Yeah.
making things.
Yeah, and it sounds like kind of bad because you're like, well, that's not going to pay the bills, and it's like, no, it's
mean,
not.
it doesn't.
So you have to do the other jobs, make those projects happen at the same time, and then those things, if you do enough of those consistently,
Yeah.
if you do anything consistently, you're gonna like
better
get
at it.
further and get better at it,
Right. Yeah.
basically. So
And
So,
that
like, anytime we-
kids, is what we call the hustle.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much if you're not going to hustle and try to be in the film industry, you just in any
any capacity.
capacity,
Yeah.
I mean,
you're not making it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's what a consistent piece of advice that we've probably heard is along the same lines. Just like you need to be working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like always be working, whether that's unpaid or paid. Like
Yeah.
always be doing the next thing. Always be looking for that. Because if you're not putting yourself out there, no one else
Yeah.
is going to do it for you.
It's got to be Nike.
Yeah.
Just do it.
You gotta do it. You gotta
well, I
do
mean,
it.
but that's so serious though. Like
Yeah.
like you have to just do it.
Yeah.
Like, you have to actually make it happen.
So I think one thing we learned too is work begets more work.
Yeah.
Like even if you're doing
for
something
sure.
small, people will see that and go, "Oh,
It's networking.
I forgot about
It's
Lamar+Nik.
networking.
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
I forgot they did that Shins video. Maybe I'll send them a brief." Like you just have to make yourself appear that you're always doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Maybe that's another good piece of advice. This is something that we literally tell ourselves all the time. You don't matter.
Yeah,
like
there's
you
that too.
literally
No one's
nobody
coming to
cares
help.
about you.
No one's
Thank
coming
you.
out.
Like, nobody
I
cares
love
about
that. Seriously, thank you, because that's such a
so
true word.
Yeah.
And it's
I mean, you have to humble
someone.
yourself.
Someone listening to this right now is going to listen to it and be like, oh, or, maybe they like this conversation, right?
Yeah.
Tomorrow they're not going to think about me. They're not going to think about him. They're not going to think about you guys.
Right.
Like a month from now, they're not
Right.
even going to remember they listened to the podcast.
Yeah.
Unless there's something that actually like hit them real hard,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that would be.
I
but,
love that.
but
That's
like,
so
yeah,
important.
no one cares about
Nobody
you.
gives a about
I
you.
mean,
Yeah.
nobody's
Nobody.
coming.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And we learned that lesson from our reps, really.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean
'cause-
that's the thing is like the reps can only do so much.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
you get repped and they can send you jobs they think you might be good on.
Yeah.
But
But
if
if
you
you're-
don't if you don't close the job and sometimes that's not even your fault.
Yeah.
You come up with a good idea.
Yeah.
And like we said like I want an out of the box idea, and then they go with like what we call a 3-band half story, where you just shoot the band in 3 locations and then weave
Have
in a
some
little shitty half story, half love story, and then that's pretty easy, man.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like you'll see all these people saying like let's go make a video. We'll do it in a day. Concept to creation in a day. No good video
Yeah.
happened like that. Sorry, didn't happen.
Yeah.
It didn't.
Wait, you say this takes work?
That's what I'm saying. Like
I just wanted to rake in all the money.
I mean, yeah.
if that's the case, man,
Yeah.
let's go make another video right now.
Yeah.
We could
On the
literally-
hallway, shoot a
Let's
video.
make a
could
video
go out
right now.
Because what you're saying is it doesn't matter. I can go do it anywhere.
Yeah.
So what's the song about? Let's go pick 3 locations. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's just also like any piece of content you make, it does have a shelf life. Like the Shins, like we made the Shins, and like you have to take advantage of your momentum when you have it.
Yeah.
Because for us, like our jobs started slowing down a little bit, but it was because we weren't taking the action to go do projects with no money. Just
Yeah.
get something done so that you can have the momentum into the next jobs. Because I mean, like you were just saying, if you don't exist, like if
Yeah.
you don't have work online, you straight up don't exist.
And you disappear so
There's
quickly.
way too many directors. There's way too many.
Yeah.
like,
yeah. I mean, think about like social media video. That right there. Like if you have like a 15 to 30 second clip you throw up online. Think about how you use Instagram, for instance.
Yeah.
You throw that video up there, someone's going to see it, and then
it's gone.
they're never going to see that video again.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then move on to the
So
next thing.
it's only slightly different for videos where it's like a full production and you put in and it's like a 3-minute video or whatever. It's only slightly different.
Yeah.
Like that might make an impact. They might, like if you're on Vimeo or something and you see like a staff pic, that's like an extra way. You might, if you already followed somebody, you see it once. You see the staff pic, then maybe you see it again or something like that.
Yeah.
But you're not often going back
And
3 or
watching it a
4
second
times
time.
watching the same thing. So after I've hit you once with my video, you're not going to see it again.
Yeah.
And
work on the next one.
and I'm gone.
Yeah.
And I'm out. And so and that's the thing is like that's even a thing that we know about, which is like you got to be ready when you do get momentum to move on to the next thing. We even know that, and we have done a bad job at that. It's like it's really hard to do. Like this whole first part of this year, we spent the time and just like zero drafted 2 feature scripts because we were like, we don't have any feature scripts, and we do have some opportunities available to us, but we can't take advantage of them because we don't have the stuff done.
Yeah.
So we were just like, okay, screw it, man. We have to like just
do the work.
strap in, do it.
Yeah.
Like.
Is that what the future holds for you guys? What's the next 5 to
Yeah.
10 years look
What do you-
for
yeah, do
Lamar and
you-
Mike? Or Lamar and
Can
Mike?
you-
Lamar and Nick.
I mean, I don't know.
We've heard worse mess ups. There's Lamar and
Lamar.
Lamar and
I
Nick
want to
and-
move it.
Yeah, pretty much. But I think we just kind of planned out our year to make. We do want to go into television features at some point. I think we're prepping those projects, the ones that we actually feel really strongly about. But in the interim of that, we are doing like a project like this music video, and like immediately after this, we're going to do the second draft of that script he was just talking about, and a short. And then after that, we'll do like a small thing, and then we'll do the short, and then we'll do.
Yeah,
more.
we're trying to find a
Yeah.
way to like make our like any momentum we get from like the video we just did to like carry us over to the like if you imagined it like on off months or whatever, like
yeah.
you like
Yeah.
carry us over that month where we're just sitting there doing
Right.
writing
Writing.
stuff.
Right.
Because writing is pretty maddening sitting
Yeah.
like because it feels like you're not actually really doing something even though you are doing something,
and it's exhausting too.
Yeah, it is. You're just banging your head against the wall
Yeah.
the whole time. I mean, I think what's weird is I think like every part of the process is like that.
No, it is.
You end up being like, this isn't even. I'm not even doing anything. Yeah, you're like sitting there editing. Like, you're like, no one can even see this, and then you like throw it out there, and you're like, no one can even see this, and then you're like, got to plan the next video.
Yeah.
And no one can even see this work.
It's relentless, man.
It's like, and that's the problem is nobody cares about you.
Nobody cares until they care.
Yeah,
exactly.
until they
That's the
do.
thing.
And then,
Like and you don't know what's gonna click. That's the other thing. Like you have no idea what.
It's gonna resonate with people.
I mean, I like of all my friends, I've definitely like different friends have different favorite videos that I've done. Like some of them are the videos that like I hate.
Yeah.
Like, there's one video I'm like I really don't like that video, and someone's like, oh, that's my favorite one. I'm like, really? What?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
man.
But yeah.
What's some of your favorite
That's what I was just-
experience?
Yeah,
from
favorite
all this?
experience. Yeah.
Probably Thailand.
Yeah.
Thailand.
Thailand was great. Yeah.
It was a Durex condoms commercial. this is what we're talking about.
Yes.
We're going to Thailand.
Yeah. So
Of all the music videos it made,
Tell
it
that
was
to
the
mom.
condom
I'm going to
commercial.
Thailand and I'm going to make a condom
Yeah.
commercial.
well, I think it was just like I think at the time that was the biggest payday we were getting. We
Yeah.
went to Thailand
Well,
for 2 weeks.
I bought my car with that money.
Yeah.
Dang.
Straight outright.
So, yeah, it was like 2 weeks in Thailand. We were, it was a different experience because of the culture and stuff. I had already been there one time for a vacation, but seeing it's so interesting to like experience the film industry in different places.
Yeah.
We had another experience like that in Paris, which is totally different. But in Thailand, like they just throw people at the problem. Like any problem that you think you have on set, like you think you struggle someday doing sound or whatever, is like, they just throw another couple people at it.
It's actually crazy.
Like it's pretty crazy. We had a crew of like 35 people or something ridiculous.
Yeah, there's 15 at the location we were shooting at, and there's 15 at the next location setting up next shot. So
because we had like a circular dolly track, and so this was through our UK production company at the time, and we used a UK. So it was like the producer came from the UK. We picked a DP from the UK. Those are only two people that came, and then the two of us came from the US. The rest of everybody was in Thailand, so there was like a Thai production company that
So there's a language barrier between you and your crew, it sounds like.
I mean, most people like English is pretty widely spoken in Thailand, so there were definitely some parts of the crew that didn't speak any English, but yeah, it was like, so there's like, if you imagine there's 4 people, the rest is all people from the production. There was no, we did have ad agency came out. So there was like 4 people from the ad agency, 1 person left early.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the DP from the UK was like astonished at how fast the circular dolly track went up. And by the way, it was not just circular dolly track; it was on sand on the beach,
or just all
wow.
types
So-
of places.
Wow.
Yeah.
all types of places. But like the sand one is where he like was laughing about it because he's like, "This is comical."
Well, it's because
It was so fast. He was like, "This would take like half a day to set this up."
I can imagine.
You know,
It's sand
and
where it's the surface is
they
painted.
had it up and going in like, I don't know, like 30 minutes. It was ridiculous.
That's the thing. Is like we woke up, we were like, all right,
That first day,
we're gonna chill.
This will be a long day.
Walk around set. They come up to us. They're like, okay, it's already, and we're talking like 7 a.m.
No. It was early in that. So our first location was like basically, we flew into Bangkok. We were there for like a week doing all pre-production stuff, and then we drove down to like middle of the country, and it's like the really thin part of Thailand. And once we were there, then our first location that we were shooting was like sunrise on a beach, and we were driving like an hour and a half to 2 hours south of that. So we woke up at like 4 a.m. or something like that. Something like that. And we drove 2 hours. We get to this place because we've already scouted all these locations. We get to this place. We walk out the van, and we see like they got a little craft thing set up. And we're like, okay, cool. And they're like, the location's right on the corner. You can go check it out or whatever. We walked over there. They already had the dolly set up. The camera was on the dolly, and they're like, "You guys ready to go?" Like literally 5 minutes.
We're waiting on you guys.
okay,
We got there. It was like 5 minutes. We were there 5 minutes.
awesome.
Before
The
we
sun
shot it.
hasn't even crested the horizon.
It was like that. Yeah, it was crazy.
nuts.
We were like, "What in the world?"
That's
That was
crazy.
pretty
Yeah.
nuts.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
The other part about that was sick is we got Thai tea anytime. Literally anytime.
hell
Literally
yeah.
anytime we were like, "Can we get a Thai
yeah.
tea?" We would get a Thai tea. Like,
It's like before you're even done asking the question, can I? Oh, and it's here.
No, that happened. So the first
they
day,
just got used to us wanting it.
yeah, the first day they were like, "Oh, these dudes like the Thai iced tea," and so it was just like nonstop Thai iced teas
That's
the whole time. We're like,
That's amazing. This PAs are on point.
it was crazy, yeah.
Man.
But that was like we were shooting. We needed like, I mean, this is a lesson for anybody who needs a location that has many, like it's versatile. Go to Thailand. They have what was it? Little
Santorini?
mini Santorini. So they got
Ooh.
Santorini, Greece in the middle there. They also got like
Wow.
a
Wow.
though.
They've got it's like and then there's another one that's like just looks like
Venice.
sort of regular. Yeah, it's Venice,
Oh,
but then there's
wow.
like other streets that sort of just like generic Europe, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
pretty
I didn't know
crazy.
that.
It's pretty weird.
So if you watch that commercial,
pretty weird.
if you watch that
Strange.
commercial, all those locations are in Thailand.
Oh,
And
wow.
You're just like, huh,
Dude.
wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start hunting down a condom commercial, babe.
I know. Let's
My
find
wife's
it.
sitting across the room.
Find it.
But then,
looking for this.
but yeah, I do think it's a really interesting thing because then when we did a music video in Paris, well, our first commercial ever was a French KFC commercial, which
I saw that.
which is which that was really funny.
Yeah.
And that was like we were super green at that point. At least as far as anybody else is involved.
Yeah.
We were like making our own videos. We knew how that process went, but that's nothing like.
Yeah. And that's a pretty big
Actual
production because
stuff.
you guys were on a green screen and all
Yeah.
that.
So that was like we flew to LA, shot plates
Plates, yeah.
because it was like they wanted to do like
Desert.
the Seinfeld.
Yeah.
The
Seinfeld?
Yeah. It's like
We want our Kentucky Fried Chicken. And it will be delicious. I can't do a French
I
accent.
know, it's a tough one.
But yeah, so we shot plates in LA and then we flew straight from there to Paris and shot on a green screen there. But yeah, again, like that was like our first time doing like a
Yeah.
Wow.
actually anybody else set it up type
I mean, that's
production.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
So
what's
then-
crazy because we don't have any mentors. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
I was saying. It's like
Yeah.
we say this all the time. We literally went from the garage to there's a crew and they're asking us what's up. We're like,
Oh,
We went
wow.
to-
Yeah. So that's quite an adjustment
Yeah.
to have
Yeah.
to deal
Oh,
with.
okay.
We went from the garage to Paris.
Paris.
In a studio with a bunch of people, and we were like, oh,
Yeah. Oh.
like to
Wow.
the point where like, and they do it slightly different from
Yeah.
Paris,
from the U.S. So like, is like all about who calls cut and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We did that even down to that stuff. I was like, I mean, okay.
I think the weirdest thing though. is
You
like
Americans, you have lots to learn.
the weird thing is like, especially with directors in Paris, like that person is the ultimate person on set, and it's very.
Yeah.
We had to learn.
we learned that on the
We had to
second
learn
time.
that because we like to like we said, we don't think we're auteurs or some crazy genius directors. So we like to have people like, if you're a production designer, I want your input. So
that's why I lobbied to hire you is
Yeah,
because
right.
I,
I want to
because
see-
I want your input. I
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
your style, and
Yeah.
it's kind of like when we're pitching on music videos, we don't want the artist to tell us everything that we need to do in our job because then it's not fun.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that's how we
You
think
hired me
about
to
it,
do
at
a
least.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why we hope to on set like ask everybody how they want to what's that bit they want to bring in.
Paris
basically.
does it a little different.
Yeah.
They like
Okay.
want very succinct answers because like
They want
even-
exactly the
like
answer.
if you were like
Yeah.
if you were like, yeah, he can just wear a button up, like that doesn't fly.
Yeah.
What is the color of the button up? Is it
Yes,
plaid?
he will wear a
Where's
red
it-
button-up
Yeah,
dress.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what are the buttons colors? Like,
I mean, that
Wow.
literally
Yeah,
happened to us.
like-
We had like, I think it was like 6 women, and we wanted them all in different like
dresses.
solid color dress,
Yeah.
and we were just like, yeah, just like whatever colors, like just red, yellow,
rainbow.
blue, whatever.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
primary.
Yeah.
colors.
And they,
And they're like, this is not enough.
yeah.
no, they
seriously.
literally they wouldn't make a decision.
They just
were
were like,
they were
no,
like, we
wait,
want
wait,
you to
choose
write
the
down the
color.
colors. Like, tell us what the colors
Yeah.
are.
Wow. That's crazy.
That
'Cause it
sounds
could-
like my kind of way to live. I don't like making decisions. I need to just do that for my husband and be like, listen, I don't care, but
Yeah.
I just need you to tell me.
I have a job that needs to be done. I need you to do it.
care very little.
Yeah.
I just need to know.
I love delegating.
That's
Delegating
great.
is so nice.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it yourself.
And I'm that person that is like, I will do what you offer. Yes.
I mean, I think the only thing that we actually care about on our sets is that if there's something that compromises the actual idea,
Right.
then we're not going to budge. Like that's the thing we won't budge on. And we would just tell somebody if that's what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Like we would just if we were like, hey, what do you think about this? And then they gave us an answer and it didn't fit with the idea, then we'd be like, well, we can't do that.
Yeah.
But
that's the fun give and take of the whole creative experience. I love I think that is a very American thing of like the concept of collaboration is very different here than abroad. Would you agree?
I think it's more. I think more so in France. It's more of like
Just France.
the creativity of it. They like really hold. It's not a bad thing. They just really hold directors like they're sacred on set because they're coming up with the ideas. They love the art element of it.
Yeah, they're used to like. I mean, and to be fair, like that's kind of why we got repped over there. Like our style kind of fits with a lot of stuff that comes out of
see that.
Their ads and like UK and Paris or in France. Like so our styles kind of fit, and I think that sort of fed into that. Whereas like we're not going to
really interesting.
change your idea for you.
Yeah. Well, Lamar+Nik, where can we find you online so that people can see all these awesome music videos and commercials and stuff?
The website or just at Lamar+Nik?
I mean, Lamar+Nik.com. Lamar+Nik on...
It's everything.
Everything.
Literally.
But that's N-I-K, not N-I-C-K.
Right.
That's the thing that'll throw you. But it's not a plus sign either.
Right.
Which I guess people will find
Lamar+Nik, Lamar.
P-L-U-S.
P-L-U-S.
N-I-C. Or N-I-K. I messed it up. NIK.com.
Yeah.
I'm glad we did that. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming on the show. This has been really cool getting to talk to you.
Okay, so I was one of the things that I really wanted to ask, but I didn't get a chance to, is what their thoughts were on this John Mayer video that I watched.
John Mayer.
So I love John Mayer, but so he put out a video.
Body's the Wonderland.
Oh, it's so good. Not too long ago, where he was saying that he was super not into the fact that music videos cost so much to produce and they don't bring that much back, and it's kind of a worthless endeavor for people like him. Mm-hmm. And he decided to but it's also a requirement. To put a single out, you have to have a music video to go with it if you want it to be viewed on YouTube.
That's how you promote your music.
So he put out this one where he literally drops a green screen behind him. He's in super casual pajamas and he just dances with a bunch of weird stuff on the green screen while he sings a song. And it is excellent. I think it is excellent.
That is amazing.
It's got he just does a bunch of stock backgrounds. There's one with a woman at a desk and he's leaning over. He's looking at this woman at the desk. It is fantastic. I wanted to ask their opinion on it because I think it kind of sparked a little bit of controversy in the fact that he didn't try it all.
I don't even care.
He didn't even give a crap. And it's excellent.
John Mayer.
So we can. I don't know if we can segue into a game.
Let's use that as kind of an inspiration for. Okay, so we're gonna do a cloverleaf, and a cloverleaf for you listeners that don't know what a cloverleaf is basically this is how we kind of gain some inspiration for a scene. We're gonna start off with a word, and we're going to do a word association to kind of work our way out, and then we're gonna find our way back to that original word.
Right, but we won't repeat any of our previous suggestions or words that we're offering up.
Yeah. So, for example, John Mayer.
Guitar.
Wonderland.
Snow globes.
Ooh. Christmas.
Elves.
Will Ferrell.
Anchorman.
David Koechner.
David Koechner. Okay. Farming.
Ooh.
Farming.
Cows.
Factories.
Leather.
Wood.
Guitar.
John Mayer.
John Mayer. All right.
Ding. That's good.
All right. Bolt the doors. Bolt the doors.
Okay. All right, hold on.
Gotta keep everybody out.
Jeffrey, I'm scared.
Sally, I don't know if we can hold back the throngs of people that are going to want to get all this stuff that we have in here.
I am terrified that we're going to get murdered for hoarding all of this stuff, Jeffrey. We should have taken it to a shelter, or donated it, or thrown it out of an airplane like Operation Dumbo Drop. Okay?
That would have made so much more sense. but it's toilet paper.
I know.
mean, it belongs here.
I never thought that the stock room in this mall would be such like a huge hotspot, but they have so much toilet paper in here, dude.
So much toilet paper, and I had no idea that this zombie illness was really gonna just cause people to poop everywhere.
I know. Oh man, I don't know. Okay, like we're the janitors here. We don't even have. Do we have authority to hand out this toilet? I think that maybe what we should do.
I don't think. I mean,
we've got to start rationing, man.
We do. I mean, like, because at the end of the day, like, once all existence has been wiped out and there's no more butts to clean but yours and mine,
like
we're gonna have to clean our buttholes.
Dude, I just had a crazy idea.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna tell you a story.
Do it.
I was watching this video, and it was all about these people who don't use toilet paper.
What?
I know.
What?
I know. They don't
That's
use
the
it.
be-all, end-all.
I know. It was like an old video way back before the plague came around. Okay, like this, like
the Dark Ages?
No, like before this virus, right? This current virus.
Okay. Oh, so it was
like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, man,
So I was
that
watching
forever
it.
ago.
I know. And they don't use toilet paper. They just take some
What,
water
they use their hands?
and their hand and some soap.
What?
Dude,
That's like a miniature bath for your butthole.
it's exactly what that is.
But what? How do they dry it? What do they do? Blow?
I think it just naturally, like, you drip off and then you're all clean.
What? Everybody's walking around with soggy pants.
I don't know, man. That's a good question. It never was addressed in the video. So now I feel like we're on a path to solving this problem for us and for the people out there that are, they're trying to get in again.
Oh, jeez.
If we could just solve this problem, okay, I think we could present this rationally to them, and then
we'll be able to keep all the toilet paper for ourselves.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Jeffrey, get the speaker, the loudspeaker. We got to get on the loudspeaker.
I got it. Okay, let me just plug it in. All right, I'm gonna point it towards them. All right. I see what you're. Okay, we're gonna like show them the video, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna demonstrate like in an airline. Like I'm gonna demonstrate the process.
Okay.
Of using the restroom, washing yourself, and then see how they respond. Okay.
Okay,
I'm gonna
here.
do it with movements. You explain.
Got it. Okay, you climb this ladder. All right. And okay, are you safe up there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, everybody can see you, right?
Yeah, I can see all of it. There's like hundreds. There's hundreds.
Oh my gosh. Does it look like all of their buttholes are like super dirty?
Oh man, they're like raging, like hemorrhoid-esque. Okay,
Oof.
we gotta get them clean, or I'm afraid they're gonna like lose their minds.
God, this crap has got to end.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna start. Okay.
Let me just grab this microphone.
Show them the bucket.
Hello, check. Okay, everyone. All right. So wait, are you doing the motions and I'm telling them, or?
Yeah, I'm doing the motions.
Okay.
I've got the bucket.
All right,
Tell them
everyone.
about the bucket.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Your buttholes do not have to stay dirty. You don't need toilet paper. If you will look at my lovely assistant at the top of the ladder with this bucket, all you have to do are these 3 steps. Step 1.
Scoop water.
Scoop water from the bucket like so.
Yeah. Pour down butt crack.
Pour the water down your butt crack. Now
Wash.
step 3, take
Wash.
your hand, wash with your hand. Oh, I think it looks like are they doing it?
Oh my gosh. It's working.
It's working.
We need more buckets. We have to throw some buckets. Let me just start hucking buckets off the roof.
Here's some more buckets. Luckily, we're in a mall in our supply line. Here, take
So
all the
many
buckets.
Soap. We need soap.
Okay. Okay. Here's a bunch of bars of soap.
Bars. Yes, bars.
Okay.
We can't do liquid. Liquid doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
It works, but it's like messy.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
So here's a bunch of soap. Let's just toss all the soap out to them, all the bars of soap. Take it. Use it on your buttholes. All of you. The sickness will end and you will all have pristine buttholes.
Oh my gosh, Jeffrey. I think we just saved the world.
I think we did. How do you want to celebrate?
I mean, I think I have to go take a dump.
You know what? Take this TP. You earned it.
Thanks, man.
And seed.
I'm sorry I got so poopy, but it's kind of topical.
Post-apocalyptic. I love it.
It's been on my mind.
It's been on the mind. Well, if you liked what you heard and you'd like to be a part of it yourselves, just wash that butthole.
Yeah.
I feel like
it does remind me of like, I mean, I have to say, okay, can we all just get real? Like, I take my hand and wash my child's buttholes all the time.
It's true.
Yes, I use baby wipes in between sometimes, but in the bathtub, not so much. And you know what? If I just have to take I have potty trained 2 children out of my 3 successfully. Okay. So there's naked weeks where I'm taking them and I'm cleaning them.
It's all hanging out.
So maybe that's all we need to do. I think that truly we're just going to become nudists and we'll all just clean ourselves like that. I like it.
Hands and soap.
Yeah. I'm going to show you this video. It's a real thing. It's a real thing.
Well, while she's telling me all about this new way to wipe, you should check us out online at okieshowshow.com. Visit us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at okieshowshow. And we'll see you guys in the next 2 weeks. Bye.
The Okie Show is a mostly harmless media podcast recorded at Tower Studios in Oklahoma City. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star rating. If you're a business or industry professional that would like to advertise on the podcast, email info@okieshowshow.com. Rates starting as low as $25.